All right, guys, another day. I didn't get to sleep till 1, and I could not fucking sleep at all last night. I finally fell asleep probably 4 or 5 a.m., and it's 8 now, so I did not get much sleep, which sucks. I had a lot more sleep for yesterday, so hopefully I play well and the tiredness doesn't get to me too much. I remember I was dragging by the end of that 12 hours, and then tired before I even start, which sucks, but yeah, I went through it all yesterday. I messed up on the last hand, and today I'm going to hope to do better. And for the most part, I made a couple mistakes, but I was pretty happy with my play, how I played. I ran a number of bluffs, and was pretty happy with my play overall, honestly. A lot of the bluffs worked, stole a lot of chips. Got some hands when I needed to, but unfortunately, at the end there, I made a big oops. The old oops-o-meter. I have my own oops-o-meter. Fuck-up-a-meter. I'll do a fuck-up-a-meter. I fucked up. Alright, let's see what happens. Doing this, and now we're at the crammed-up little room. We are freaking 10-handed on these small-ass tables. Bumping into each other. This is ridiculous. Alright, so my biggest gripe is they jam tables on top of each other, and it's 10 people per table, and the tables are smaller than the pairs. So it's fucking ridiculous. We're all bumping each other. We're all like, I had a guy next to me that was a bigger guy, and he kept shaking his leg, and it just like every 2 seconds, bump, bump, bump. I was like, dude, and I was like, can you screw over a little? And of course, no one can. It's like, no, I can't move over. There's no room. But there's plenty of room over at the main ballroom in Paris. So I don't understand why they have to cram us all in like sardines when there's plenty of seats in other ballrooms and areas. So it's terrible. In the future, and in the past, I signed up at the last second. Look at this nonsense. 20-minute break. It's going to take us 20 minutes to get out of here. So, anyway, as far as the game, it's I got 85,000. I was playing way too loose and trying to steal blinds and calling too much. I was definitely playing too loose to start things off. So right off the bat, I went from 60 down to 40. But then I came back to 85 because I had one hand where a guy next to me, and one of those guys' breath stinks to high heaven. I mean, I don't understand how people can't brush their teeth or whatever. So, anyway, that guy, he sits down and raises, like min raises, call, right? And it comes to me in the big blind. It's a min raise. I'm going to call it king 9 of diamonds. The guy turns around and donks into the pre-flop raiser. I just call, and the pre-flop raiser just calls. I'm like, okay, it was like king 7-5, I think it was, with 2 spades. I thought about raising, but I just called. The turn was like an offsuit 4. I had a little bit of equity. I thought my king was probably good, honestly. So I guess checked to me, and because the pre-flop raiser just called, and I don't know, I thought I'd just bet. I bet 7,000 thinking my king was probably good, and the pre-flop raiser called, and the other guy folded. So I'm thinking, okay, shit, my king's no good. I'm going to shut it down. But then the river came at 9, so I hit 2 pair. So then, it was king 10, and then there was 10 on the turn and then 9 on the river. He could have queen jack, but I guess I'll find out. I'm not that worried about it. I think more likely he has a king. So I ended up betting 15,000 on the river, and he called pretty quickly. And I showed my 2 pair, and he showed me a king and lost his mind and threw the cards and threw a like 2-year-old temper tantrum, and it's just like, obviously he doesn't play much because people that just lose their mind over nothing. I mean, that's nothing, and like he's just like going crazy. So anyway, that's how we got most of our chips. So we went from bad shape to decent shape. So yeah, end of first break. All right, we're on the next break. I have about 230,000 or so. So doing good, doing fine. About the same as yesterday. Yesterday, and like hopefully, I do better than I did yesterday. From this point forward.
Yeah, I have two real hands to talk about. I got raised in a late position with ace 10 of hearts. The guy 3-bet me. A common thing that people make a mistake on is they don't 3-bet enough. So you want to charge people if you got a good hand. I made it like, I don't remember what I made, like 2,000, and he made it like 4,500. That's like such a small 3-bet, excuse me. So it's like, I mean, if you want people to call you, that's fine, but it's a very small 3-bet. Sometimes you will small 3-bet, but yeah, sometimes you want that call, and you'll do that. But anyway, I believed he did have a big hand, so I had called, but at the price, and I was suited. Flop came 2 hearts. I checked. He bet pretty small. I decided to. So anyway, he bet pretty small on the flop. I thought about raising. A lot of times I would raise, but I decided to play it a little tricky, and I just called. The turn was a heart. It gives me the Nutter Butters. I checked, and he bet for like 11-1. I made it because he was again a small bet. I made it 40,000, which is actually less than the pot, and he pretty quickly called, which I was kind of surprised about. There's a queen on the board, there's a jack on the board. I was thinking there's a possibility with him calling there that he might have a set of like jacks or something that he picked up on the turn. I don't think he would have bet so small on that board if he had a set of queens. The river was a 4th heart, which I didn't like because with the 4th hearts, I swear to God, people just are in such a rush for nothing. I figured with the small hearts that with the 4 hearts, that's going to cost me, right? So I bet small on the river, pretty small. I bet 40,000, but the pot was like over 120,000, so I only bet a 3rd pot. And he thought about it for a little bit. That river hurt me, and he folded. And he said he had 1 pair, which is kind of hard to believe. Maybe he had aces or kings. Surprised he stuck around to the check raise, but he's like, did that 4th heart help you? And I didn't answer him. Didn't want to give away free information, but and then right before break, guy raised to 3,000. This heavy-set guy, and he says he knows me from Indianapolis. Didn't seem real friendly. I don't know him. I don't remember ever playing with him, but he mentioned like some what's his name, Berg or something. Some guy who's a real prick in Indianapolis. I don't care for. There's too much drama in these games, so I don't even go there anymore. But he's like, "Oh yeah, are you guys friends?" and laugh or something. I'm like, "Okay, whatever." There's too many 2-year-olds in Indy. Like whatever, you know. So anyway, yeah, I said I don't care for the guy at all. To be put it politely, right? So anyway, he thought he could outplay me. Apparently, I made it $11,000. The guy folded and he called. The flop comes King 7-6 with 2 diamonds. I had 2 blackjacks. I c-bet. I bet like 11, not real big. And he called. Turn was an 8. So it brings in, 7, 8, 9 actually it was. So 7, 8, and then the turn was a 9. I decided to just check, see what he does. I do have a gutter, and a jack would be good for me. So I checked, but he checked it back. So, okay. The river was, what was it? It wasn't anything consequential. And I checked again because there's really no sense betting here, only bettors calling. And he may bluff. So I checked, and he just 30,000. And I snap called him. And he had queen 10 off. So he called the flop with absolutely nothing. When he picked up a straight around the turn, he decided to check back. And then he decided to bluff when a blank river come out. So none of that made any sense to me. But obviously, I'm not putting him on a straight or a king when he checks back the turn with 2 diamonds out there. Snap call on the turn. On the river, I mean. And yeah, I was good. He had queen 10 off. I don't like how he played it, really any street there, to be honest. So if you're going to float somebody in position, you're going to bet the turn, especially when you pick up equity, in my opinion. So I don't know what the hell he was doing. And then the bluff makes no sense on the river if you're checking the turn. So my 2 cents there, I didn't like it. But it worked out for me. And that right there is like a probably $100,000 pot, so, or 80,000. I picked up a couple nice pots, which really helped. So that's it. Those are the only 2 cards I can think about. I'm kind of rambling on here. Yeah, I met Lady Gaga on the elevator. Nice guy. I talked to him for a minute. Yeah, I can't think of anything else. So let's hopefully we'll do well. I think I was going to do real good, and then the dinner break I slowed right down and didn't catch anything. So I'm hoping I can keep things going and not to get in trouble being short like I did yesterday. Yesterday I started out about as good as well, and then I just went. I don't know. I wasn't running good. Cars weren't going my way. So, and there's a couple calls I wish I'd made. So, speaking of which, now that I think about it, there was one hand where I wish I had bet. I raised with like ace deuce off, ace 3 off, I think it was, in the cutoff, and the button called, and then the big blind called. Flop come jack of diamonds, 10 of diamonds, 7. Queen of diamonds, jack of diamonds, like 7 of clubs. So it got checked to me, and I should just bet at this. I think the big blind doesn't have much. I think all I got to worry about is the guy behind me. I feel like I should have bet this, could have taken it down, but I didn't, and it got checked through. The turn was a 7, and it brought another diamond. So another 2 diamonds. Yeah, there's 2 diamonds out there now. So I just remember it brought in a backdoor flush draw. And the guy in the big blind bet a little over half pot. And I really feel like I should have called with the ace there. I did not have a diamond, but I just felt like with that board, and he could be betting flush draw. I'm kind of pissed that I folded there. I feel like I should have really bet that. Should have called the turn at least, because ace high is good there enough for the time and he could be betting draw. So, but I folded, and the other guy folded. And come to find out, I hadn't seen the guy bluff yet, but right after that, he ended up running a bluff. I'm like, oh, geez, that makes me feel a little more like I should have called him, but that's it. Now we're done. So I had 2 hands. One was the guy from Indy raised under the guy with Queen 8 suited. I called it King Queen next to act. One other caller. Flop came like 7-7-5, two clubs, I think it was. Yeah, no, it wasn't 2 clubs. I don't remember. But anyway, it was like I ended up just checked to me. I bet the guy thinks for a while and folds, and the Indy guy calls, and I don't believe he had anything but backdoor clubs. I don't know what he was doing, but I went check, and then check, and the board double paired. I understand why people can't wait 2 seconds. It's like you get out of the elevator, and the guy said, go ahead, and then the guy jumped in front of me. He's like, hurry up. Like, you can't wait 2 fucking seconds. I ran over the guy's foot. I don't feel bad about it, because it's like, what the hell? Anyway, what was I talking about? Anyway, he called me Queen 8, and then check, and King High 1, and I don't quite understand the call. If you're floating, then why aren't you betting at any point? And then, but like I said, the board had double paired, so I really didn't think that, if he had ace high, I put him on like ace high. I didn't think he would fold ace high on a double paired board, but he didn't. He had Queen high, so King High 1. The really most interesting hand that I ran across so far in this last break, between breaks, was sometimes I can't help myself as far as running a bluff, a big bluff. Guy, I think he's a pro. I've seen him before. He raised a lot in late position. So he raises again as I cut off late position, and he's raising a lot. So I looked down at the button with ace 9 off, and I really felt I should have 3-bet. I should have 3-bet on the button. I messed up. I just called. The flop came King 7-4 or something. He bet small, real small, quarter pot or so, and I decided to float for the hell of it. Don't ask me why. I decided to float. I'm thinking I could call, and if he checks the turn, I could easily have a king. I bet he folds, right? So the turn is another king. He checks, and I'm like, I could see myself checking a king here on this dry board. I wouldn't necessarily bet trip kings, so I checked behind. The river was like an offsuit 3 or something. Didn't change anything. like a dry board, no straights, no flushes, two kings on the board, and he bet small again. He bet again quarter pot, and I thought there's a good chance, of course, that he doesn't have a king, and I thought if I put in a big raise here, that he would fold because I could have a king, right? So I put in a big raise. He called pretty quickly, and he had a king. He had king 6. So I was right. He's raising real light. And I floated with nothing. I mean, ace high. But I mostly did it because I was planning on stealing from him down the road. And it didn't work because he had trip kings. So I even told him I shouldn't say this, but I don't know. Maybe it'll slow him down. But I shouldn't say anything anyway. But the plan is in the future, possibly, if he just keeps it up, that I'm going to just start 3-betting him late. All right. Okay, by the way, little common courtesy would be nice. I can't believe how big assholes people are. I mean, like, it's like, excuse me, and they don't even give a fuck. They walk right in front of you. They cut in front of you. I'm trying to back up, and they're like just sitting there, not standing, and then bumping it, and it's just like, I'm about ready to start taking out some fucking kneecap and running over some people because you say, excuse me, you be nice, hey, and people just don't give a shit, and they're in the biggest hurry in the world, and it's just like, I'm ready to just frickin', it makes you want to just be inconsiderate and just say fucking run all over you people because it's just like, Jesus Christ. Little common courtesy would be nice, They're just like dickhead. Everyone's in a super hurry, and I got to be first. And it's like, you don't have 2 seconds of patience. Patience is a virtue, you fucking assholes. If you don't know that, then just, I don't know. I don't know where to go. Go someplace that no one has to deal with you. Go swimming along ocean current or something, man, because nobody likes you because you're just so impatient. All right, I'm done. Just fucking drive me nuts, people. Anyway, at this point, I got about 300,000 in chips, just shy of that. So that's where we're at. Oh, by the way, one other little obvious thing that I ran across is after I raised call, this Asian guy who's last to act like in the big line, he would consistently shove, and he shoved for 60,000 when I made it 6,000. So about 20 bigs or so. And I was like, oh, that's a lot of chips. I mean, I have a deep enough stack I can call him, but I had king, queen of clubs, suited king, queen. I'm actually not that far behind a weak ace, which is probably what he has. And, he could have jacks and 10s or 8s or 9s, which I'm racing against. I ended up, thought for a long time, and I folded. If he was a little shorter, I probably would have called. And I think it's not 20. 6,000, the blinds were 3,000, right? 60, yeah, 20 bigs. I guess that's right. But anyway, I was close to calling. I didn't call. And then soon after that, same situation, but this time he didn't shove. He made it like 30,000, half a stack. And I'm like, and I had actually a better hand this time, ace 10. And I folded quickly. And the reason why is because this screams of strength. Like before, he's just trying to take it down. This time, he wants a caller. And so, I might have called. Who knows if he had just shoved like he always does. But that was a mistake on his part by just, raising that amount when I thought he had a really strong hand. And we both folded. And sure enough, he had pocket aces. So kind of a tell I picked up on him. Pretty obvious, and he just confirmed it when he flipped over his aces. So, I guess that was it. Quick little tell. And I'm going to lay down for a minute. Well, honestly, this last between breaks was a ridiculous waste of time. I barely played a couple hands. The dealer's just so slow. And they moved us from one table in that cramped little room to another table where I watched 2 hands go by in like 15 minutes. And then they moved us to the Paris, the big room, which took 20 minutes to get everyone up together and bagged and all the way over to Paris. And I watched 2 hands go by, 3 hands. Somehow I lost 100,000 in all that time. I didn't play a single hand. I raised in late position once. The guy jammed all in, and that's the only hand I played besides blinds. So, yeah, it kind of sucks. All of a sudden, it's like I had 60, 70 bigs, and all of a sudden I have 30, and I didn't even play. But most of it was just a waste of time of moving tables. So, it sucks. Yeah. And the thing I really don't like is they have go back to still 10-handed, which I don't understand. Because yesterday was all 9-handed. Now we're all scrunched together 10-handed again, which sucks. So apparently we're going to be stuck at 10-handed all day. And not until like day 2 tomorrow, which hopefully I should. Will we go back to 9-handed. We made $600. Woo! And we're celebrating.
I'm even for the summer.
Hey Shane, say hi to the vlog. He's even for the summer. $600. You own $600 now. He's even. Wow, that's pretty good, Shane. All right, we've gotten absolutely nothing going. We did make the money, mint cash. Of course, I didn't play this again to mint cash. That's for sure. I have 14 bigs. 350,000 in chips, and the blinds are going to be 10 and 25. So, here's what it is. Kind of short, but had myself a Corona, which I never do, mixed with alcohol, mixed with Red Bull. Not a good idea, but I only had one beer, so. That's it. So, I wasn't even going to drink at all, of course. And then this guy, Shade, he's really cool. Seems like a nice guy. He got a couple beers. I'm like, yeah, give me one. You don't mind. Nobody else wanted it, so I'm like, yeah, hand it to me. So anyway, that's where we're at. I've got nothing going. I had one hand where I raised in early position with ace king of clubs. 2 colors. Flop comes 3, 7 deuce. I decided to bet small, fold. And then the guy in the big blind called. I'm like, okay. Turn was looking offsuit 6. It seemed like he liked that turn card for some reason. But it did. I don't know. He checked. I checked it back. The river was an ace. He checked. I thought it was a little too nitty to just check back, obviously, with ace king. And I bet a smaller amount. Maybe he could look me up with a pair. So I bet. And he raised me, I bet like 65,000. He made it 135. Like, he made basically a min raise. And it was like, oh, I hated this spot. I ended up calling, but I don't like to call in hindsight because, and he flopped a set. I don't like that because, what is he raising with? He made it very tempting for me to call. So, it's hard to believe it's a bluff. I could easily have an ace. I raised it under the gun. You know, it just screams like he's got me beat. 2-pair, set, something. So I got to learn how to fold, man. And that's a horrible call. But I ended up calling. And yeah, he had a set of 3s. So I got dwindled down to about nothing. Had 9 big blinds. I'm in the cutoff. And I looked down at Jack 10 off. I think in the cutoff in late position. With 9 bigs, it's a shove. And Shade thinks about it for a while on the big line. He's not sure what to do. He calls me with ace 4 off. I don't like his call. Yes, it's GTO correct. If I'm shoving, 70% of my hands, which is what GTO says, I'm not shoving 70% of my hands, especially not close to the money. So I just wouldn't shove that wide, period. So. If you look at GTO charts, it says Jack 7 off, Queen 8 off. I'm not shoving those hands with 9 bigs. So, anyway, he called. And, which I said, against my range, it's not a good call. Anyway, flop came out good for him. He had an over and a gutter, but hit a 10 on the turn, thankfully. And then nothing on the river, so it held. So I got a double up there, which I needed. And so that's what's got me went up to like 400,000, and now I got like 350. So I'm card dead. I had shit. I was so card dead. So we'll see what happens. I'm gonna still keep trucking and see if I can get some more chips to go on to day 2. We are done. We made it to day 2. I think so many poker players is rude as hell. It's like, can you please move over a little? No. It's like, there's just so much immature bickering. I don't get it. So you see it more. You see better players as you go deeper in the tournament, but you see more just people not being nice. I'll put it that way. Or friendly, that's for sure. However, on a good positive note, can you believe it? I fucking had 9 big blinds. I shoved with Jack 10 against Ace 4. And I held, so I'm now up to 18, and I was sitting at 15. It's not catching anything for the longest time. And in the last 2 hours, I went from, what I have, like 200,000, like about 250,000, which is about, 12 big blinds or so, to over 2 million in chips in the last hour. I just finally caught some cards. I didn't catch anything forever, and I finally caught some cards. And people are people are calling me late. They haven't seen me play for hours. But guy raised in late position, 60,000. I called. The next guy called. I looked down in the big blind with pocket sevens. I shoved for 275,000. The other guy folds, and the other guy quickly calls. The Indian kid, he's got ace 3 off. Okay, I have pocket sevens. My sevens hold. I had pocket kings that I raised a number of colors. Flop comes with an ace, so I just check. The turn comes with king, so I hit a set. I bet big, I fold. I had a hand where a guy raised, another guy called, and there's a couple callers in there in the big blind, or I think it was small blind actually. I have Jack 10 suited. So, I decided to call. It wasn't that big of a race. See a flop. The flop comes 6-6-5, 6-6-3, something like that. It was, not my board, right? I'm done. So it gets checked through. The turn is including the pre-flop razor check. The turn is like a offsuit 7. Nothing changes. And this guy check, and I'm thinking, okay, the pre-flop razor didn't bet. I'm going to take a stab at this. I bet 100 into like 250 or so, just to take a stab. The pre-flop razor calls, and the other guy folds. I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to be done with this. The river ended up making a 10, so I just had top pair, and I figured it was good. So I bet 175,000 on the river. The guy snap called me. I showed my 10. I was good. So I think he called me with ace high. I just was finally catching cards and winning virtually every hand. Just finally caught some cards and winning some hands. I went all day with nothing, and then finally, in the last hour, the last 2 levels, I finally was catching hands. I raised ace king off, and the guy who has me covered, he has like 3 million in chips. He's like just a ton of chips. So he said he took like 14th in the main last year or something, or 22nd. So I make it 75,000. He makes it 220,000. I have ace king off, but I'm really deep, dude. I don't need it. I fold. Right? There's 10 minutes left. I fold. I'm not going to get super involved. It's the first time he's 3-bet me. I'm not going to shove 50 bigs with ace king off. I'm going to fold. I'm just going to fold. And he was like talking shit. He's like, oh, if you had, I'm like, I folded a big hand. He's like, yeah, if you had such a big hand, you'd play it. I play my big hands. I don't know about you. I'm like a dick, right? It's just like, I'm like, all right, man, well, I folded ace king off, so, And he didn't seem too happy about this. I think he probably had me crushed. There's 50 bigs. There's no sets and just going nuts there with ace king off, but 15 minutes left to go in the day. And then, second to last hand, they do like final 3 hands with 10 minutes to go. Second to last hand, this Asian girl, she has 5 bigs. She jams in the cutoff. I look down in the small blind with queen jack suited. I think it's good enough. It's not that much of my stack, so I called. She had pocket 2s. I had queen jack suited, and I ended up hitting the flush. And so I got that too. So just a good run, finally. Caught some cards. So, like I said, I got over 2 million, which the mine's going to be 20,000, 40,000, which means I'm going to start day 2 with actually 50 big blinds, which is nice. Good. I have a nice final good starting stack. I think I'm probably one of the chip leaders. So, a lot better than, of course, I kind of punted yesterday, but definitely am happy. I think I played a little bit too many of the chips going into day 2. So, and like I said, over 50 bigs. So, let's see what happens on to day 2. We start at 1 p.m. tomorrow.